All right, so game number one, Division C East, House of Chez versus Hogs of the Storm. House of Chez bringing us to Infernal Shrines on game number one. One of those maps that I'll mention every time I do it. It's a big heavy rotation map. It has room to be kind of like a wild card for teams to kind of change up the meta for themselves of how they want to rotate, how they want to do the lanes, and timing of the mercs. What we'll see a lot of times in the meta of this 4-man rotation with like the 1.5 minute mercs and all that. But right off the bat, banning out the Azadan and the Raynor. Pretty typical bans in this meta right now. I think if you see any of the meta analysis from any of the writers for any division, it seems like Azadan actually has a pretty good win rate. Same with Raynor and obviously the Genji. Genji, I think, is sitting at like 40-some% win rate in all of NGS, but still like an 80% ban. And we're getting rid of the Gaul. So teams, they can whip it out in this league. They might not be able to punish it as easily. So bringing out the Gaul right away, or banning out the Gaul right away, making sure they can't get cheese down. House of Chez, it's close to House of Cheese, so maybe. So Hogs of the Storm, picking up your Rel. First pick, strong solo laner. Honestly, a strong just diver all the time. She's hard to kill. She can provide enough sustain and setups. House of Chez picking up the Deckard and the Kael'thas, giving a lot of control. But Hogs picking up the Alexstrasza and the Garrosh. So Alexstrasza, kind of one of those healers that if she has Dragon Form available, she can... If she has Dragon Form available, she kind of just wins the point. At that point, I mean, like, you have to be already kind of winning on the monster count, the kill count. But if you're already ahead and the other team tries to push into you to try to force you off, then you're like, oh, I'm just going to pop Dragon. I'm going to just sit here and heal everybody. Same with Garrosh, so it works out. House of Chez, I think I like the smart ban on Jaina. Jaina is really powerful with Garrosh, pretty powerful in this point because there's a lot of choke points, a lot of narrow pathways that people have to walk through. A blizzard makes it pretty difficult. I imagine we're probably going to see a tank ban, and there it is, Joanna. I'm surprised they're not getting rid of the Diablo. I feel like Diablo is a lot scarier on this map compared to Joanna. I guess they banned Joanna because they figure we can flip a Diablo. But honestly, Diablo doesn't really care. If you flip Diablo, he's like, I'm going to have my souls. I'm just going to charge into somebody else. You just got me closer to your backline. Especially on this map where all the objectives are around walls. House of Chez actually picking up the Anubarak and the Blaze. They're not going to see the Diablo. Blaze is their solo lane. Does really good wave clear. Again, has bunker available to just sit on top of the point and provide everybody enough safety. Getting the Anubarak, so we're probably going to be looking to web wrap the dragon when it comes out. I actually really like that call. It's pretty smart, honestly. We don't see that too much to pick up the Anubarak behind the Alexstrasza. Because as soon as she pops out Dragon Form, you can get rid of 5 seconds of that. I mean, Dragon still lasts for another 10 afterwards, but it still works out. Ooh, Hogs of the Storm picking up the Phoenix and the Zeratul. Zeratul. So, I mean, blink in and out with cleave. It's pretty strong. He's not the best against the Anubarak or Kael'thas, just because of the double stun from Anubarak. He will be able to get stun locked out. I mean, they're already showing 4 stuns from House of Chez plus the root from Deckard. And then picking up the Zul'jin. Now, Zul'jin will be a juicy target for the Zeratul, just because he usually hurts himself, obviously. Once he pops his trait, brings himself down to half health, and then gives him a pretty squishy target for the Zeratul to jump in on. And then, so... there's a lot of CC coming out of House of Chez. If they are able to combine that in any way, I think it's going to spell a lot of fear out of Hogs to make sure that the Phoenix is not going to jump in too much. Zeratul might not want to jump in too much. Honestly, Yrel, if Yrel jumps in, if she gets stun locked out, it's hard for her to jump back out. I mean, she can be interrupted a lot. And a lot of times, CC really ends up winning a game. Even if it's not super coordinated, just having that amount of disruption and chaos is enough to win you some fights. So, hopefully you guys in chat, what do you guys think about these two drafts? We got Anubarak King, we got a lot of the CC team on the left. We got the typical Alexstrasza, Yrel, Garrosh on the right. Kind of like all strong comps specifically for this map. Let's see if that wins them out for them. But it's really going to come down to this rotation game and to see if anybody gets any picks. I wonder if I can fix this game thing that's going on here with Hogs of the Storm. Center, wraps. Maybe it's just barely. Oh. I messed things up. Alright, well we're gonna go right into the game here. Had enough time to get their logos situated. Let's introduce these teams. We got House of Chez on the blue team. Death Icarus on the Kel'Thas, Caribou on the Decker Kane, Pish on the Zul'jin, Flash on the Anub'arak, Mariners on the Blaze. On the right hand side, Hogs of the Storm, we got Neiman on the Zeratul, Dead Latin on the Alexstrasza, Pokemaster J on the Phoenix, Jax Taxman on the Yrel, and Tolkas Champ on the Garrosh. Right off the bat, Zeratul looking like doing a little bit of flanking on the bottom. Oh, my game looks pretty choppy right now. I'm not sure why. Might have to close some other items. Garrosh getting some early stacks. It's always helpful. Everybody kind of just, they're not really doing a full-on engage. They're kind of just positioning. Nobody wants to set anybody else up. Alexstrasza actually going Q build. Making sure that she always going to have Dragon available for any of the team fights. And obviously we see the main rotation. I like this little Zeratul kind of just slowing him down, making sure, but Anub'arak sitting right behind the Alexstrasza. Burrow's a little too far. Now granted that is his burrow, so if he gets thrown by the Garrosh, it's going to cause some problems for him. He only has the ability to walk away. So now we see the Merc camps. They spawn in the first minute, which some teams can try to take it up right away. Maybe try to focus on the bot Mercs. Let's look at this top lane for a little bit. Yrel Blaze, I think Yrel should win this lane. I think Blaze might win at level 7, I believe. Oh, but with that, already missed the first kill. I'm sure that was with the Garrosh throw. Alexstrasza coming in with that heal on Garrosh. This is what you get for looking at solo laners. This is why nobody looks at solo laners, because you're going to miss the action in this 4-man. So now Garrosh is getting pretty low. CC stunned on 1. We show the Kane root coming out. That's a lot of damage just from the Kel'Thas. And does he get the counter kill? They don't get the counter kill. The armor. He was at no health. Feels bad, man. Got a little bit of spray game going on. The Blaze spray and the hearts. One stun. If they get the second stun, this could be a dead Zeratul. Right into the roots. What a read from the Kane. That was so good. That was, I mean, like, Zeratul could literally have blinked anywhere else, but he blinked right into the roots. I mean, Kane with a 300 IQ. Neither team picking up their mark camps yet. As I say, they're just rotate down to it. Zul'jin's only at 2 attacks. Or rather, I guess, 10 attacks on hero, since he's got 2 stacks. Garrosh is on 6. Zeratul's going into the full cleave build, as typical. Kel'Thas just coming in. Garrosh might be too far looking for that Kane, but Kane's a tank. I mean, he can self-heal himself for days, especially with the level 4 shield talent. I mean, look at that. He just doesn't care. Oh, no. That last final thing just barely. I mean, honestly, I think he had maybe half a second, but the counter kill on Zeratul was worth it. The flame strikes with Kel'Thas. Phoenix picking up Zul'jin on the bottom, but the minions actually kill Phoenix as he runs away. I didn't capture that on the screen. So already a high kill count on this 4-man rotation. They're just going... Both teams got their merc camps, but these guys are just brawling it out, and that's what you like to see. However, House of Chez is getting that starting, which is on the objective, which is what you want to do against an Alexstrasza. You want them to force Alexstrasza into you with you having the lead. If you're trying to fight into an Alexstrasza with Dragon, when they're already ahead, it's like, oh, this is never going to work. But with these chokes, Yrel's jumping in. Got Garrosh is trying to look for a throw. He's trying to get it between all the different minions. Zul'jin is hurting himself, but Yrel jumping in the middle of them might not do the best. Actually getting quite low. Forcing the Alexstrasza now just to force them off. Oh, well, hopefully they don't lose anybody here. As long as they don't lose anybody, they're fine. They can re-engage when Dragon's over. Like I said, they're already ahead on the monsters. So we're probably going to see them tap wells. Blaze is looking to Hearth. Anubrak's going to Hearth. That might have been the wrong call. I guess they probably didn't have their wells. I think with that Hearth and trying to run back in, and especially with the Kael'thas showing himself a little early, this is going to give the first objective to Hogs of the Storm. I'm assuming the members didn't have their wells available. Garrosh basically almost done with this quest already with all this team fighting that's been going on. So first Punisher, again, only one stun for, barely got him over the wall. Only one stun for the Punisher. Or only one stun to follow up on the Punisher. At the time that was 11 HP. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty low. Zul'jin, but Zul'jin's got pretty good clear. This is a new Breath looking for it. He's not. I like the call for Zeratul. Soaking the lane on the bottom. We got level 7s reached. Of course, there might be looking at this Zul'jin. One ability going out, doing a lot of damage to him. That's the thing, when he keeps himself low from that trait, gonna cause some issues for himself. He's always gotta be wary of that Zeratul. Zeratul looking for the Blaze next. Hopefully no action goes on while I'm looking at this Blaze. He's pretty far away from his thing, but he's got the charge. Still takes half his health, and he's going to have to use his oil and fire for that one. Level 7 not picked up by Garrosh yet. Deciding whether to do Into the Fray. I don't think there's really any other option besides Into the Fray, especially with the stun locks that are coming out of the other team. Looking right onto the Phoenix. One stun, two stuns with the root. Trying to follow up with the damage, and he goes down before able to teleport away, and that's what we're going to be looking to see pretty much every team fight. Honestly, I think they can probably just jump on Phoenix and not really care at all because they have so much CC. Zeratul's coming in from the backside, looking to do a little bit of poke. I don't think they can scare too much. Dot literally walks right by one stun and says, I don't even care. Blaze going the Globe talent, giving him more unstoppable. Which is surprising because there's only one stun. It's only Garrosh. Alright, so both teams regulated to just take their PvE game. Gives us some time to look at the damage meters. You thought I was going to say top lane. Nobody cares about top lane. Because that's what happens down here. There's always team fights that go on. Garrosh getting quite low. Has his unstoppable. There he goes. Forcing out the dragon. That's a huge win. A huge win for House of Chez to have that dragon forced out this early. She did go Q build, but she doesn't have it done at all. Like, or not, I shouldn't say at all, but she hasn't done nearby. Garrosh is finished. I mean, she's only at 3 stacks of Q build out of 20. So she's not even getting that reduced cooldown reduction. That reduced cooldown reduction. Again, once again, looking for more stuns. One root missed, and the second, but they hit the second stun. He'll be able to get out. No problem. Alright, now hopefully there's some action that's being not happening in those downsides so I can actually look at these guys and see what they're doing. Everybody do a little dance party. Get rotations out to their merc camps, pretty typical. I like it. I'd like to see a little bit more soaking. They're so close to 10. I mean, both teams are hitting 10 at the exact same time because both teams are doing the exact same thing. I mean, it's 4 to 4 kills. The experience is pretty much even. Urel's already picked her ultimate, so she's able to stay alive here. If they force it out, they don't even force it out. A big sleep. Oh, it does force it out with the chain bombs. Hit on everybody. Zeratul coming in with a 3-man VP. Web wrap used on the Phoenix to stop. I don't think that only puts us on a 10-second cooldown, so he'll actually have it back up. But he just dies right outside of that web wrap, and what a kill. Gives them a lot of leeway to get these first amount of monsters, but that's what happened the first objective, and they got pushed out of it. Let's see what the cooldown of Alexstrasza's dragon is. Still 50 seconds, so they won't have dragon available to push in. They're looking to do this 4v5. I don't know if this is the best option. I mean, there's still a lot of stuns available. There's no ultimates, so maybe they were keeping track of that. Deckard's getting thrown. Big taunt coming out, looking for the Deckard. A little bit of disruption. Urel's sitting on the top lane, getting the life binder out of Alexstrasza, securing 1 kill. That was a 4v5. Urel's still back there. In comes the salvo, remaining 4 members. And that with that body blocking, forcing everybody into that choke. Once again, I don't know how they're doing it. House of Chez starts off with a kill, gets a nice count lead, and then they actually lost a 4v5 there. 5v4. Right. Big stun man 3 allows Nubrak not to get thrown. Zeratil's looking at no mana. Is this the time to hold it? To try to get some force elsewhere? Try to get a little bit of this wall push? Zeratil's still in there with no mana, no health. They actually don't have it yet. Okay, there it is. Garrosh's just going to throw it away to make sure that they nowhere near to get any type of ganks right all the way. So, first Punisher. Probably should see the Nubrak. Ooh, unfortunate that he got thrown out of the way. Taking a lot of damage there. Again, that's pretty risky because Zeratil can come in and just do some quick damage, scare him out. The full 5-man here. We're gonna see the soaking from the Urel. But not much. Pretty much just gets. They're looking to engage right on top of this. Alexstrasza. 1 Lifebinder goes out, but she is gonna die. We're probably gonna see the counter engagement bunker coming out for all 5 members get into the bunker just to make sure that they don't get anybody picked out. Zeratil did not end up using VP for that, so it will be available for the next time they fight. 13's almost reached for both. Well, about 3/4 of a level lead now for Hogs of the Storm. 5-man invade. I like it. Looking for the stun. They get 1 stun with the blaze. Should have a lot of body blocks. Huge stun lock chain in this choke point. If they get any type of chain kills, what they're looking for, but a huge VP. No, they didn't cancel it. That puts it on a full cooldown. I guess there was some miscommunication on whether we re-engage on that VP or not. Doesn't look like they probably thought they were too hurt. So I mean, I think some stats just to get yourself some information out there. So I believe House of Chez is sitting at number 2 right now on Division C East boards standings with like a 7-1 ranking. Hogs of the Storms, I think, is 5-3. I could probably double check after this. Want to make sure I don't miss anything. We got Urel doing that double soak and make sure they keep that experience lead. Zeratil coming with the wormhole, but that was already the double jump. They're going to jump on top of this. VP is down. The rest of the team does not follow up. I feel like that was a dead Zeratil. What build is Kael'thas going? Kael'thas is going Flame Strike build. That's probably smart. I don't know. I mean, you get a lot of chain bombs available on this map just because there's so many choke points, especially against an Alexstrasza where everybody wants to stand on top of the circle, which I don't even know what it's called. Abundance? Who actually says abundance? 1 stun interrupt. That could be that force out the ultimate from Urel, and that's a 2-minute cooldown. Net's objective is probably going to be start spawning in 10 seconds and then 30 seconds after that, so Urel will not have that ability. 5 seconds. I was a little off, not bad. Level 13's reached. We got big pots. The Burning Rage from the Nubrak, since he is just in the middle of all of them. Alright, so even talent tiers. About a level lead for Hogs of the Storm. How all these fights have been, how all these objectives have been going so far, all 2 of them, is that here House of Chez gets the lead. Alexstrasza pops Dragon at some other time, and then Hogs of the Storm wins the fight. But this time did not go that way because Alexstrasza got immediately blown up. Taunt going out. Phoenix decided to use Salvo, but everybody just jumps into the bunker and takes no damage. So, do they win the fight once Alexstrasza comes back into the fold? Just like they did the last 2. They're trying to get as many of these monsters as possible. They have all 5 members here. Hogs of the Storm opting to go soak other lanes for a little bit while they wait for Alexstrasza. I think this time House of Chez might finally get an objective. Yes, they will. Zeratul smartly doing some push, getting some value somewhere. If they time this, I feel like the might run right into the point. I mean, they'll die pretty quick. There is a 5-member here, or 4 members since Blaze went top. Half a level lead. Everybody's re-converging back into this mid soak. Mistimed that unstoppable just by a little bit, but it's okay. Nobody followed up on it. They're just opting to get some free structure damage and also some free damage onto the Punisher. House of Chez say, we don't care, that was enough for us. That gives us a little bit more of an experience to like come back into the game with experience. That's actually the first fort taken for the game. Looking for a rotation up to the Zerel. Even though 2 Punishers have gone to the side of Hogs of the Storm, they haven't really been able to get too much out of it. Alright, 16's almost reached. We got the rotation from Hogs of the Storm down to the enemy team's camp since they saw 5 members top. Might be scapped out by the Anubrecht. He could be punished, but he still has the burrow away. Looks like they're looking to engage. They don't have everybody either. Blaze is closer into it. It's closer to this team fight. We got 1 wrap going out onto the Phoenix. They're going to look to follow up on this, I'm sure. Is he just going to teleport out? Oh, stay a while. They hit the Zeratul. Does that actually does not take him out of the stealth. But unfortunately not able to follow up on anybody. Garrosh is getting so low. Getting that shield talent from his Groundbreaker, but not enough to keep him alive. That was a lot of ultimates and a lot of time for the 1 kill. So finally able to look at level 16s that were reached for both teams during that team fight. Interesting. So we actually have Q build from Garrosh instead of the stun on the throw. So this gives an extra slow amount or more duration, probably to help the Phoenix. Blaze hasn't picked a 16 yet. Urel's doing some scouting out. We got 4 members still down here looking for that Alexstrasza, not able to land the 2 stuns. Blaze now recouping up with the team. We got the VP. There's no follow-up here. And Zeratul is probably going to pay, definitely pays for it. Easy pay. And they're just going to keep running these, they're just going to run these kills down the lane. I mean, they're nice. Guillotine coming out. Not able to follow up on the Alexstrasza with the throw from Garrosh into the fray. But 2 kills for that. They could probably just push to keep here. With all 5 members here, I'd say they just keep pushing. Like I said, I mean, the CC train from House of Chez, I think is going to make it pretty tough for Hogs to get into a good fight that they want. Double stun. Looking at the Alexstrasza, trying to go for that Lifebinder, but was not able to get it in time to save herself. Garrosh trying to do something. We're just spreading a little bit of chain bombs, trying to run him back into the core to do something. There's still bunker available, so he's not scared at all. He's interrupted that stun like twice. And honestly, why does that not go on a 10-second cooldown when that gets interrupted? But free keep for House of Chez, just running it down bot. Kill after kill after kill. Hopefully Hogs of the Storm can regroup after that push. Get some of the team fights that they've been getting in the early game. Make sure that nobody gets caught out at a random time. But looking at this damage here, Zul'Jin's so close to finishing up his stack, so he'll probably get in the next team fight, and that'll make him a lot deadlier with that range. Looking at the damage, we got Zul'Jin up top for House of Chez. We got Phoenix on top, of course, for Hogs of the Storm. Pretty almost like, what, 8k behind the Zul'Jin. Looking for the team fight. Same talent tiers. This is the fight you have to take. We're probably going to have Dragon available. We have all ultimates available for both teams. They're looking for the re-engage, looking for the Zul'Jin. He's stuck out by himself. He does not have Tazdingo and ends up falling first. So with this team fight, there's the web wrap onto the Dragon form. But the Zeratul, nice VP while they break out the Dragon. No bunker available. Is too far away from everybody else. Zeratul is not able to heal himself up from the Alexstrasza. But a 2-for-1 trade so far. Urel popping up her unstoppable heal myself trait. Phoenix is still looking for those kills along with the Garrosh. I mean, the Nubrak has already been thrown. A Nubrak has already been burrowed and ends up with the 4th kill. So that is a 4-for-1 trade. And that's, so it's happened 3 times now. Three objectives where House of Chez has started up way ahead, and then a team fight happens, and they can't secure kills. It was a good Nubrak web wrap on the Alexstrasza. It was a great counter VP after the web wrap came out. Basically made sure that they couldn't use their advantage with the web wrap. Level 20s. Just about reached for both teams. We got the rewind to Nubrak, makes him pretty deadly. The buzzsaw from the Zul'jin, that'll be fun to see. That can get a lot of damage on multiple people on a team, especially if you get them in a VP or in a web wrap and then follow up afterwards. We got infinite chain bombs, so the Hogs of the Storm is really going to have to pay attention to who has that bomb to stay away from them. Healing Zeratul, make sure that he doesn't die to random dot again. He was so close. Like, he just had a second on a heal. And the taunt recooldown. Big 5-man. They're coming in, trying to ignore these forts as much. They already have minions available, so they're going to try to run right into this keep. The 2 tanks are anyways. The rest of the team are not. Try not to spread these chain bombs. Got 1 spread. Don't bring it to the rest of the team. Oh, no, they're going to keep chaining it. This could spell doom. Stop chaining. They're running in there. These chain bombs are not stopping. Oh my god, they're gonna kill the rest of the team. Okay, finally. Literally that 1 chain bomb probably just won that team fight, or made sure that they didn't lose a keep there. Looking to re-engage. Knowing that Lifebinder's down. Trying to get enough stuns. Throwing the Urel to make sure she stays alive. Buzzsaw coming out, doing a lot of damage to the Garrosh. Actually almost hits the Zeratul as well. Getting a nice web wrap onto the Alexstrasza. Finishes the Garrosh kill. They're gonna follow up on this Alexstrasza. Dragon form coming out with a sleep. They're probably going to ignore her for a little bit. I like it. And silence right afterwards. Do they have the follow-up stun? They do. She's keeping herself alive. It's going to delay enough. There was a VP available during all that. But with that, I mean, the chain bombs scared them all away. And then they just like re-engaged with the Nubrak and the Blaze. Especially because... web wrap just forces you to fight. Like, or we either give that person up to die, but they're gonna look to end here. The healer gone, Garrosh is gone for still another 20 seconds. There's a lot of damage left, but the core's already taken a lot of damage. 1 VP to slow him down, catching the Urel. Zul'jin's just sitting to the backside, said, doesn't matter, we're just gonna go for the core. And that is gonna be game number 1 going to House of Chez. All right, that was a back and forth. I mean, that was a lot of kills for both teams. So at 14-12, 22-minute game, so it's pretty even, honestly. Looking at the damage, Zul'jin, Phoenix actually caught up to Zul'jin in the last couple team fights, getting ahead of him. Look at these stats are the same: 6 kills, 4 deaths. Looking at the healing, Deckard out healing Alexstrasza, but there's also the extra self healing from Urel. So I guess that doesn't really add up. But overall, a pretty even game. I mean, Hogs of the Storm had 3 objectives. They just were not able to push with them as much as they would have liked. I think there was a lot of good defense out of House of Chez due to that Zul'jin. But, you know, we got to give it to them. House of Chez getting those kills, getting the team fights where they needed them. Maybe they weren't on the objective, but they got them outside the objective where they could push with it afterwards, and they got the win. So, congratulations. So, we're going to move to... Oop, did that wrong. We're going to move to game number 2, or at least get ready for game number 2. So, I will see you guys back in about 5 minutes, if I can do this correctly. All right. So, be right back. Well, joke's on you guys. You thought we had 2 minutes left, but we're actually going to go right now because both teams are ready. So how about that? Makes it easy. So let's get right into game number 3. So, game number 3, bringing us, or sorry, why did I say 3? Game number 2. Game number 2 is bringing us to Towers of Doom, picked by Hogs of the Storm. Are we going to see an Abathur? All banned once again. Followed by the Azanan ban. A good global for this map. Provides probably one of the better mages, or so I'm told by my endearing teammate. That Azanan is good. Urel being banned out. Provided enough. I mean, she was pretty annoying the last game. Granted, I mean, Hogs didn't win, but she was annoying. Are we going to see a KT ban out? Are we going to see a Kayn ban if they don't want to pick Kayn? They actually banned out the Anubarak. They didn't like all that stun lock. So Anubarak is pretty sleeper. Leaving the Rainer open, it was instantly picked up by House of Chez. So provides that backline punishment if you can't jump on top of him, if you can't negate his auto attacks with a Lily or a Joanna. Maybe that's going to force Hogs of the Storm into the Joanna. Do they still pick up the Dahaka for that global? That's great on this map. Especially for those times when you have the 3-man or the 3 bell towers. And the Genji. Spicy. We don't see Genji too often. It was banned out last game. Now, House of Chez picking up the Joanna and the Kayn. Strong healers. Joanna making sure that the other team cannot get Joanna against their Rainer. And also provide some slows for that ace in the hole. So, Hogs of the Storm. They already see ban out the Blaze. I like it. You know, somebody that can double soak a little better than Dahaka. They already banned out. Urel's already banned out, so that kind of limits their solo lane capabilities. Maybe force them into the Leoric, which still has a better solo lane than Dahaka, but... or rather, still has a better double soaking than Dahaka. So there's so many options for House of Chez to ban out. There's a healer they want to get rid of. There's still a white man available. Maybe they know House of Chez doesn't play white man. I don't think white man was picked or banned at all last game. But they ban out the Diablo. I think Diablo's probably one of the better tanks against a Rainer. I think Diablo's probably one of the best tanks. Anyways, Hogs of the Storm picking up the Cassie, and they do go for the white man. So we're going to be able to see her healing output and see how much she's able to keep people alive. She has a route that she can do herself on at 13. Excuse me. Had to get a little cough out there. All right. So we got a solo lane that I need to pick up and probably a mage. I might as well pick the best mage in the game right now with the Jaina and the ETC. I like it. I actually really like it a lot with the ETC for that global. Getting that stage dive available at 10. He has Echo Pedal for some of that wave clear. He has an extra stun for Cassia and Genji, or a knockback for when Cassia is in Fend. But I like the ETC pick a lot here, actually. I think that was really good. I think he's forgotten about a lot of times in on that type of off lane meta. But we've actually seen in HGC a lot of pros being able to utilize ETC in the off lane so strongly, because he actually, once he hits 7, he can bully out so many off laners. Because he just self heals and he's just like, auto attack, I'm gonna heal myself, I'm gonna knock you away from your globe, and I'm gonna steal your globe. And makes it pretty strong. So, game number 2 of House of Chez versus Hogs of the Storm. What do we think is going to be the result? We got I mean, not that much wave clear from Hogs of the Storm. Pretty good kill potential between Genji, but you're trying to kill a Jaina and a Rainer against a Deckard who has probably the best T-lane in the game with the shield. I don't know. I think I have to give it to House of Chez. You guys will have to throw your input in there. I think this draft goes to House of Chez. So game number 2, we got Mariners on the ETC. We got Death Icarus on the Joanna, Caribou on the Deckard, doing that same thing they did before. Flash on the Rainer, Pish on the Jaina. On the right hand side, Hogs of the Storm, we got Jax Taxman on the Dahaka, Neiman on the Cassia, Tolkas Champ on the Genji, Dead Latin on the Whitemane, and Pokemaster J on that Muradin. Accidentally hit the wrong buttons. So, see if we're going to see some of this mid lane crash. We don't really have any quests. I guess we have Muradin quests and Q quests from the Cassia. Looking for that one tongue. Almost tried to walk right up to him, but Joanna's like, I'm still on a mount. You can't catch me. One stun going out. Just looking for those stacks, I'm sure. Everybody's just going to be looking to kind of poke out. ETC is looking to maybe scare off Genji, but he's just going to try to slow him down as much as possible, especially since they only have Cassia to wave clear. Gonna see that ETC go top lane. We're going to have to definitely try to check out the ETC Dahaka matchup, especially in the early game. In early game, I think he loses. Actually, honestly, I think early game he kind of wins out against Dahaka until Dahaka has Essence. You have a Husky Malamute mix? That's awesome. Malamutes are definitely a lot stockier and bigger. But we got to jump onto this Cassia. Nice, slightly dodge of the Blizzard. Actually, I think that Blizzard still hit her. Whitemane doing what she does best with the healing. That was a 4v3. And they were able to get away without a death. So that's a favor for them. But unfortunately, they just have Genji sitting here trying to do wave clear, which he is god-awful at. So looking at this top lane, since both teams are opting to go for their Merc camps, which is what you want to do on this map. Those Merc camps on bot lane are the bread and butter of this map. You want to make sure you keep them on cooldown and then push with them in lane. For anybody that doesn't know. I mean, ETC is kind of taking a lot of extra damage that he doesn't really need to. Nice. Oh, if he didn't have the pushback. Oh, he didn't have the pushback yet. But now with that little bit of solo lane action, we can get back to the matters at hand with these bot lane mercs. Again, I mean, the wave pressure, the wave control from House of Chez is, I think it's going to put such a damper on Hogs of the Storm. Genji in the back line, doing a little bit of jump, try to get some poke damage. Put himself in kind of a precarious position. But no sappers suiciding themselves into a fort. Or structures, rather. Level 4 reached for both teams. We got a little bit of a team fight here. Burden's going in from some stacks. Chain screens. You're right. I even like thought about it. So like I was thinking it. I was like in draft. I looked at my OBS. I was like, okay, make sure I change screen when the game starts. And I was like, nah, I'm still not gonna do it. I'm not gonna type to him, but I got it. All right. First set of bell towers. We're going to have ETC and Dahaka taking those top lanes, so we're going to have a big brawl over this bottom side. So this is one of the benefits of the Dahaka. They're going to have the ability to just... I mean, Dahaka's going to get there a little bit faster, so if they're able to get a first kill here, that's going to give them the 2 bell towers. Rainer was getting pretty low. Dahaka's coming in, went to the passive bush, gets 1 stun on the Joanna, not the pop target you want, but now ETC's available. Genji's already out of the team fight, but there's an ETC. So this is now a 5v4. Muradin going to be the first to go down. And that was actually the first blood of the game. And that gives House of Chez the 2 bell towers. Now, early bell towers don't really make a difference on this map. You can get really low. I've seen a team go from 30 to 4. Or losing by 30, essentially, and they only had 4, and they still won. That was my team, and it was ridiculous. Merc camps getting respawned for both teams. See if either team rotate to it. Still kind of getting this 4-man rotation going. Pounds are still even. So once ETC gets level 7, we're probably going to see him push out the Dahaka a little bit more. Ooh, nice little turn onto the Kane, but looks like the rest of the team said, like, yeah, you guys can get out for free. It's no big deal. Check out this damage. Cassia's up there. Rainer's obviously up there. Not too far difference from everybody. So now we're going to have to see Hogs of the Storm try to defend this Merc camp. And level 7s were just reached for House of Chez. Looking at the strain on the top side, we got White Man's available on top of the Cassia. Looking for that kill, but it might be the Spell Her Doom. She's going to get a walk away with that White Man healing.
The altars are rising, heroes.
So we're probably going to see ETC try to start bullying Dahaka out of here. Yeah, yep, you guys, I already got it. Unfortunately for that 2-minute delay. Nice push onto this Dahaka. One of the benefits, I mean, one of the smart strategies when you're playing against somebody that has the global is you just attack the global person and then they can't use their global. It's kind of a ridiculous strategy. Sometimes it works. Does White Man still get it? Yeah, I did. Oh my god. I hit the button, it didn't go off.
Your powers will be Gravekeeper, like all the others.
I hit the button, I swear. It's okay. Now you can see talents.
Not give up so easily.
So, kill still 2-2. Experience is straight spot on even. Let you guys look at the talents since they've been hidden the entire time. Shots is only one shot down for Hogs of the Storm. Not a big deal. Oh my god, I need. It's so annoying when like, but I know I messed up. But I can't type back either, so like I can't, like I have to like, I can't actually, I actually cannot type back. Genji looking for a little bit of that poke. So let's check out the damage now. We got Rainer up there with the damage. Cassia not too far behind. And Jaina and Genji about even. So even damage, even tanking, even soaking. All in all, an even game. Like there's only one bell tower ahead. This game can turn at any point with basically whoever captures these bottom, this bottom lane. We got level 10 so much closer for House of Chez against Hogs of the Storm.
Be swift, heroes. Do not let the Gravekeepers.
Are they gonna be able to? They're not even gonna interrupt it. The body blocks were real. That was just a free bell tower. They had Cassie in the top lane during that bell tower spawn. It looks like they're gonna be looking for the ETC, but they're not even gonna get that.
Let the Gravekeeper know my power.
You will pay for your arrogance.
So level 10s. ETC not even showing that stage dive yet. I think it's guaranteed that he takes stage dive, but maybe he's thinking that they're gonna have enough of a lead where he can rotate for that mosh pit. There's only one interrupt available for mosh pit. I mean, he's thinking about it. He's probably thinking about it hard. He's probably gonna wait to hold it until they get to a team fight where he needs to be in the off lane and then he needs to stage dive in. Both teams still even on the experience. Both teams taking their Merc camp. It really just comes down to this 4-man here. Who's going to start winning it? I think these sappers might finally be able to get into the bell tower. Not the bell tower, but yeah, tower. Burden's still on top of there. He's taking a lot of damage. I think he still has his jump available, so he can jump away. Rainer, actually, he got interrupted by the Rainer knockback. Interrupted his jump, but White Man still does a lot of healing. during that little scuffle with Murden just taking all of that Rainer damage, he got jumped up so much on the damage meters. So ETC finally taking that stage dive. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. They have white man on the bottom. They might just be trading 1-for-1. Genji's gonna come in for the interrupt. Does get it. Water Elemental coming out to stay on top of the Genji, but he's gonna try to jump away. He's on the weird spot now. Actually has Jaina kind of by himself, and Cass is gonna look for it. Gets that first kill. ETC's on that bot side trying. Actually, you got the interrupt on the white man as well, so we got the 2 globals, 1 down. But that Rainer in the stay a while, bringing him in, finishing off the Cassia. So a 1-for-1 trade for both DPSs. This is a weird spot. Who goes for what? I think the rotation from House of Chez is going to be a little bit better. Genji will not be able to interrupt again, or otherwise he will die. If they kill this ETC, no, they have a Kane. And we're going to Rainer rotating down there now. Possible. No way this ETC is going to die. Rainer's in the fight now. Getting that sweet right-click damage. This has been a long bell tower fight. Genji's back in, but losing white main, I don't think they're going to be able to fight. Look at the way, the positioning of Deckard. He is up there, but it doesn't matter because Deckard is basically a tank. Going to finish off, getting the white main and the Murden at the end. So during that long team fight, the House of Chez was able to reach level 13. Doing that Ice Bear for extra shielding on the Jaina against the Genji. And they're finally going to be able to take this bottom fort. Now this is where it gets tough for Hogs of the Storm. So you're getting this weird spot where you want to be taking this fort down. Like that's like your top priority to make sure that you can have an access point to this bot lane. You see here, basically the only way that Hogs of the Storm can rotate now is through this Merc camp, which puts you in a choke. And it puts you where it guarantees you know where they're going to be. So Hogs of the Storm is really going to have to be focusing on this fort, which they do. Luckily for them, House of Chez is not opting to defend it. So they are getting a lot of free damage instead of escorting these objectives in. Normally for House of Chez, you would want to be escorting this in, plus you'd want to be defending this fort. Kind of gave that up for free, which is a little unfortunate for them, but way better for Hogs of the Storm. They're going to take that, should run with it. They're going to opt to kind of do that rotation, try to get some structure damage on other lanes. Level 13s were reached for Hogs of the Storm. All pretty typical. Looking at the Dahaka, was able to burrow through all that CC, ended up using his essence, so they're going to look to refight here again, but they're not going to have the global unless Dahaka kind of burrows into this back bush. Jumping onto up of this Rainer, big roots hitting 3 members, ETC stage dive coming in, looking to big stay wall hitting 3 members as Dahaka runs into it, and Greymane getting stunned by that ETC in the back line. Cassia is still barely alive. They're so low, but Kane is keeping them up. Murden's trying to go for that Rainer, but it's not going to be enough. That 5v3 at this point. ETC slides. Kane just keeps everybody alive. And they are going to be looking for this Dahaka now. Going to put the silence out. Does Dahaka even die? Does Dahaka even die? Dahaka does not die. ETC dies. At the cost of 1 bell tower for now. 2 bell towers with the Rainer in the bot lane. Wait, there's going to be burrowing? Okay, good thing he got that rooted. He did not want to do that burrow. I was hoping he would just give us Mika as an I'm sorry. I don't know, we'll try to get her on the cam when we're done. Alright, only 8 shots left for Hogs of the Storm. I mean, they're not out. They're not out. It's still all forts. You can get even talent tiers. I mean, if you start taking one team fight, you can totally snowball from 8 shots. Whew, nice interrupt from Flash. Interrupt that Murden. Oh, I feel like Genji wanted to wait for that Jaina to go out a little bit farther. Make sure that she couldn't run away. But it's a good idea. Good idea from Talkus. Now he's going to have to run. Doesn't have his deflect up available yet. Level 16's hit for House of Chez a little bit ago. Letting you guys know what those talents are. One tongue going out, not quite far enough. If he had level 16 with extra range, he probably could have gotten that. Genji sitting in the backside. We have tongue available, and right now we do. Level 16s are so close for Hogs of the Storm. They just got it. Are they going to pick their talents up fast enough? We got the Pierce from the Cassia. That's going to add a lot more damage to her. Murden's joining for the fight with these level 16s. Now, how do they do? A little spray from everybody. Once one person sprays, everybody sprays. Genji, I like this. Stopping the rotations. Does he pay for it, though? Ooh, he has to use his dash. That means he can't go back in. Cassia is way far behind on this, so they do not have their damage. This is just a single bell tower, but they're so critical for Hogs of the Storm to make sure that they don't have a death sentence. Big ETC stun, followed up by the roots and stay a while from Kane, and that's a quick Genji kill. So we got the Joanna pulls them in. Nice stage dive hitting 3 members, gonna keep everybody slowed. And instant damage, keeping them in the blizzard with the ETC. This Mariners has been just doing work with his ETC play, making sure he's keeping the peels and the engage. Honestly, I really like this ETC pick into Hogs of the Storm's comp. Oh no, but there's 3 members down. House of Chez is just going to try to end it with his boss, and I don't think there's anything Hogs of the Storm can do about it. So that looks like it's going to be game number 2 with the domination from House of Chez. ETC is able to slide them away, and they're going to get a final kill on White Mane just at the last second. So congratulations, House of Chez, with the 2-game win over Hogs of the Storm. So looking at these stats, we got a lot of damage out of that Rainer. Followed up by the Cassia. I mean, honestly, it was just, I think it was the ETC. The ETC did work for their team once he was able to stage dive in, or even if he was in the 5-man, being able to stun the Genji to stop him from backing, being able to knock back both Muradin and Dahaka when they do their stuns or when they're trying to jump away. It just provided so much peeling for his team, and he wasn't being he couldn't be punished because there was already a Joanna in front of him as well. So one of the ETC's biggest problems is that he gets poked out, but just put another tank with him, you can't get poked out. So it was a good job. I mean, honestly, both games were really close. Movement like up until probably the last 5 minutes, and then House of Chez kind of started to run away with it. Hogs of Storm really looked like they were going to win game 1 on Infernal Shrines. So give me 1 second. All right, guys. So we got... I'm not going to do an interview just because I have another cast in 20 minutes, and I want to get all my stuff set up beforehand. So we are going to kind of do throw stuff over to one of the other NGS channels, and we will do an AFK for about 25 minutes and 30 minutes, and then we'll be back in. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and stick around, or at least come rejoin me after the break. Thanks.